Hey guys, I've been talking on the podcast about the about parents who have been rising up because they've been discovering, perhaps under the era of COVID, what their kids are really learning in the classroom or not learning, and what they're reading, what the kind of books that you find in the school library. Now, Stacy Langton is a mother of six from Fairfax County, Virginia. This is one of the sort of node centers, I would say, of the parents movement. She's not so much of a school board activist. She's a mom. And she's a mom who's discovered some disturbing things that are happening in her children's schools. Stacy, welcome to the program. Thanks for joining me. Let me begin by just talking about how you got involved at all. In other words, there seems to be this kind of parental awareness or consciousness about what's been going on in schools and probably going on for some time. Talk a little bit about how you first got an inkling that something was wrong with the way your kids were being educated.
Well, I was literally standing in my kitchen at dinner time, at the kitchen island cooking dinner. And there was a story on Sean Spicer's program on Newsmax that covered the school board meeting in Hudson, Ohio. And that was the very dramatic one where apparently it was a literature class for, I think, seniors or juniors. And it was, pornographic writing assignments. And the mayor came in the clip that they showed to the school board meeting. And the mayor was very dramatic. And he said, I've reviewed this material with a judge, and this is absolutely pornography. And all of you have a choice. You can either resign or face criminal charges. And then he stormed out. And I thought, what the heck is that? What's going on? Like, that's crazy. And, you don't think that these things are going on necessarily in your backyard or in your school. So I didn't think much of it other than, wow, that's really weird, until 2 days later, I saw a second story. And that was about the mom in Leander, Texas, who went to her school board meeting. And she actually read aloud from some of the books and showed images and, different things like that. And that's when I started to think, okay, there's something going on here, and maybe I need to look in my own backyard. And so I asked my son to bring me his school issued laptop to look up some of those titles. And yeah, they were in the library.
So then you marched down to the library and checked out these books. And I think what's remarkable is, were you shocked at what you read? And then second of all, when did you make the decision, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to read from these books? What a brilliant tactical move by you to kind of put them on the spot and say, in front of the public, this is what you guys are, you're releasing to our kids. Talk about what you found in the books and when you made the decision, I'm going to step out and I'm going to kind of take the lead on this.
Yeah, so it's something where you can't really remain silent about it, right? Because when you see it in person, it's actually worse than I would have imagined. It's so X-rated. It's so explicit, both the words and the pictures, this is not debatable. There's no way you can justify it. It's absolutely X-rated. And so at that moment, I had a choice. Do I say nothing? And then all of the kids are sort of having access to this, which is clearly bad. It's not good for anybody's child. Or do I do something brave and, like you said, step out and go speak up about it? And so I just, it was a matter of conscience for me. I had to go speak up. I'm not just defending my child's innocence. I'm defending, by extension, everybody's children's innocence. And so I called the school board and, said, hi, what's the procedure to sign up for a meeting? And I did that. And it's a lottery system. And I was selected on the wait list. So there was no guarantee that night on September 23rd that I was going to speak, but they had a lot of no-shows. And so they went into the wait list and I was selected to speak.
Now, you're talking about books like Gender Queer, another book called Lawn Boy, which have, they have oral sex, masturbation, graphic descriptions of sex between men and children. So I guess what you're saying is we're not talking here about sex ed. They're not giving you this is the human anatomy. You're talking about essentially, perversion that is being indoctrinated into kids to serve a certain ideological agenda. Now, did you realize when you stepped forward that you were going to be walking into a little bit of a firestorm? Because even though these things are so indefensible, there are powerful people who defend them.
No, I had no idea that this decision I made to go to the school board was going to result in all of the things that have come since. And trust me, when I went to the school board meeting, what happened that night is that's not how it went in my head. You know what I mean? Like it all went sideways really quickly and the wheels came off the cart. And, I didn't even get to finish speaking because the only way to get this message across is to do what I did, which is to read the materials aloud and to show the images, because it's so graphic. You really must see it and hear it in order to sort of understand the gravity of what we're talking about. And when I did that, the school board cut the mic and cut the camera feed, and they fled the room. Like I didn't even get to finish my presentation. I'm only given 2 minutes. They cut me off at 90 seconds, and that was the end of that. So that's not what I was expecting as a reaction. I think I thought maybe they might say, "Oh my goodness, thank you for bringing this to our attention, and we've got to do something about this." And that's not what happened.
Well, let's take a pause. When we come back, I want to go into this, drama at the school board and some of the aftermath about it. This is, by the way, not just a Virginia issue. It has national reverberations. We'll be right back with Stacy Langton.